Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope that you're having a great day. It would be terrible if I got on here and I was like, hope you're having a happy day. So we're just going to keep the theme going of a great day. Um, I received something really interesting. This is like totally off topic. Um, uh, that my sent to me, and I just wanted to share it with everyone real quickly while we have some more people join. And I thought this was so interesting. Um, and this is kind of like is a great context for Dr. Lauren and I jumping into um, our desire to make nutritional and supplement recommendations. And sometimes you're like, it's just going to take too much time. I don't want to hold people up. So obviously that would be fear that causes us to do that. And so listen to this. There is such a thing as life without fear. When your energy is blocked, it can't come up and feed your heart. Therefore, your heart becomes weak. When your heart is weak, it becomes susceptible to lower vibrations. And one of the lowest of all vibrations is fear. The purpose of spiritual evolution is to remove the blockages that cause your fear. The alternative is to protect your blockages so that you don't have to feel fear. And then it goes on to say, if somebody does something that stimulates fear, you think they did something wrong. You then do everything you can to make sure that you never do it again. First, you defend yourself, and then you protect yourself. You do whatever you can to keep from feeling disturbance. And I think that it's a really good segue, because I think oftentimes we don't do things in practice because we either heard one comment one time from somebody about, I had to wait, or we hear from other chiropractors or other people that we shouldn't have people wait, or you shouldn't take 30 minutes, or you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do that. So let's just let's lean in and erase some of the shoulds. So Dr. Lauren, thanks so much for joining me. Dr. Lauren is speaking about pediatric nutrition at the Business Plus Boot Camp at Sherman College of Chiropractic, February 23rd through the 25th. It's our CE event. It's coming up really quick. I can't wait to see her and everyone else. And so, Lauren, let's jump in there first and foremost. How did you start erasing the shoulds in practice?
I mean, definitely with joining the boot camp, that was super helpful with me and like gaining my mindset right from day one, and what kind of practice I really wanted to create. And like when I spoke with my practice members, making sure that it felt like it was fully authentic for me, and not something I thought I was told I was supposed to say in a class, or that I knew maybe other people were saying. And so it was coming from like how I live my life too, and the choices that I make and the things that I do for my kids. And so it felt very authentic and congruent and truthful, and not like something I was just supposed to be doing or saying.
Nice. So just got settled, got grounded, and spoke from your heart.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Which is always the best, like it's when we just get grounded and we're just present with that practice member, truth comes out. Right. And
Yeah.
truth is truth is truth is truth. And if that's what is best for that individual, then far be it for us not to share. So sometimes, and you've heard this, and so have I, that docs are like, I don't want people to think that I'm just trying to sell them something. I don't want them to think that this is chiropractic. I don't want to make them late. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And my first thing is, well, what do you want? So let's start there. What kind of experience do you want your practice members to have such that you incorporate nutrition and supplements?
So our office, we're a wellness practice. We see lots of mamas, we see lots of babies, and kids, but we see parents or adults and adults and like husbands and stuff too. My husband sees them. But we take a wellness approach, and from day one, we talk with them about how all of these choices and the 6 essentials of our life are going to affect our physical well-being. And so we talk about what we eat, what we drink, how we breathe, how we sleep, how we move and exercise, and what we think. And that the choices that we make in each of those areas all accumulate into how we are expressing ourselves physically. And so if we're going to look at these symptoms and we're going to adjust them, we also want to think, what choices are you making outside of the office that's influencing how often you have to be here? And so if we can make sure that we're being conscientious and mindful of the choices we make outside of the office, it helps greatly improve what we're seeing happen inside of the office. And for practice members who are like, I don't want to have to keep coming over and over and over for the same thing all the time, when is this ever going to get better? It gives them something to empower them with and to be proactive with, to know that they're an active part of that treatment plan, and that they very much make a big difference in the outcomes that they get to receive.
Right.
They have to be making good choices too, not just dropping their body off for a few minutes.
Here's my broken down, busted up body. Please fix it. Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, it's a dynamic thing, but I don't want to have to keep coming back.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? I love that lens of inviting them. Like, look, if you want to help hold your adjustments longer, we got to get rid of that chemical stress. And so, like, that Walmart brand of vitamin E, maybe not helping you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what are your two main takeaways at the Business Plus Boot Camp? Give us some teasers about what we can expect in just a couple weeks.
So my hope is how to teach you how to easily implement the conversation of nutrition, and how it goes really hand in hand with what you're doing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's like outside of chiropractic. It's just like healthy lifestyles modifications. Whenever I worked in a medical field, I worked in a heart hospital and I did cardiac rehab and stress testing, and patients would come in with all of these symptoms, and we would run them through a bunch of tests, and they might have to go have surgery or whatnot. And it always felt like lifestyle wasn't really talked about very much. So they're not getting this at a lot of their other doctors' visits. They're getting it from the internet or, from TikTok videos and stuff that are hopefully from people like us who have good information that we can share with them, and it's not misinformation. So I think that just being able to easily have that conversation with them and just kind of slowly give them little pearls so that they know that they can come to you and ask you questions is really, really helpful. And then the other thing I hope to give you is just how to develop a really easy, strong foundation for supporting nutrition in your office. It kind of gives them like, these are the basics. Like, we're all made of vitamins and minerals and fats and proteins and carbohydrates and energy. And so we need to support all of that from a just healthy, strong foundation. And then everything else kind of you can learn about and falls into place. And so I'm going to show you some ways to just develop a really good foundation, and then also to do some little testing in your office and things that you can show patients to do at home that let them know maybe that this is something they need to be a little bit more cognizant about or mindful about.
Nice. I love just that you have made it so simple.
Yeah, you have to keep it simple, because especially for pediatric patients, parents are so overwhelmed. Sometimes nutrition seems really overcomplicated. You're constantly bombarded with all of these sponsored videos of like this type of supplement to buy for pretty hair and this type of supplement to buy for skin, and then what to give your kids to eat too. And kids are really picky, so that can be really hard. So you want to make sure that they're getting proper nutrients through their food. And parents are super stressed and they're really busy. I mean, I definitely know it's like I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. My husband and I both run our practice. And so we're constantly like at the practice and then home to do homework, or maybe off to soccer or basketball or whatever it is. And so it feels like it can be hard to juggle all of that and to cook healthy meals and to sit down and eat together. So if you can make it really simple for parents and take some of that stress off of them, that helps them feel so much better and calmer, and also empowers them too.
And it's got to be so confusing. Like this weekend, I was with some chiros, and one said I was going to make a spinach salad, and she's like, "Oh, we don't eat spinach." I'm like, "What?" I thought that's like one of the best things. Like, tell me more. So I can't imagine what lay people feel like.
Yeah.
It's like one person says do this, the other person says don't. One, like it's so confusing. And I just, my heart goes out to young moms nowadays. I can't even believe, like, even the mom shaming that happens. I think I mentioned this on a Facebook Live the other day of, God forbid you wear your baby wrong and post a picture of you outside on a hike wearing your baby wrong. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like, look
It's
out, you're
intense.
gonna be crucified. And so there's
Right.
just so much worry that you're doing the right thing just in and of yourself, and then the social pressure worry. And so I think it's such a kind gift for all of us to give our practice members to eliminate them having to make the decision about nutrition and supplements. Just make it easy for them. They already trust you. They already know you. They already like you. They already are in a habit of taking your advice. So please, all of you, take it one step further, because here's the deal. They're learning somewhere about nutrition and supplements. And if they get
Mhm.
them from us as their chiropractor, the cool thing about having a relationship with us is, let's say that Lauren is the chiropractic practice member and I'm her sister. And I'm like, well, why are you doing that? I read this and blah. Lauren could easily be like, hey, why don't you just come with me and meet my chiropractor? And she can tell you, I don't really get it all, but she can. That gives, it's like it's like the military IGY 6. I got your 6. I got your back. And I think it's just such a kind thing for us to do, to let our
Mhm.
practice members know at any time you can bring any friends or family members with you. And I'm happy to walk through whatever it is they're not understanding, especially if it's causing you stress.
For sure.
IGY 6. Did you already do number 2? The second tip?
Um, I
I
think
think it's make it easy and make it
yeah.
time
An easy
efficient. And
conversation and yeah, easy conversation. You can easily fit it into your visit. Sometimes with us, we do muscle testing in our office. So at the end of our visits, we're asking like, is there anything nutritionally we do to support this practice member? And if it comes up as something simple, and there's somebody who's been in practice with us for a while, and we've had different conversations, we don't like condition base it, but we can walk outside and talk in front of the supplements where other people can hear what we're talking about and kind of give them a rundown of like, this is what we were talking about in here, and this is why this is really helpful for you. And other people hear us talk about it too, and then they may have questions about it or be interested, and you can kind of educate everybody all at once. Or we'll say, hey, you know what, with your next visit, let's just set up a nutrition consultation. And so then we can go over some extra stuff with you at your next visit. So we'll do that. And then we'll also do, like, if you do those nutrition consultations, what do you do in those nutrition consultations? What do you talk about with them? And how do you keep it relevant to them, and also keep it really simple so they can understand it and implement it, and they're not so overwhelmed with information that they just don't even know what to do.
remember, the key in education is, can they pass it on? Right? Like,
Yeah.
can they repeat it? Can they share with somebody else, even if it's their own mind? And that's why at the Business Plus Boot Camp, each speaker is speaking for 30 minutes, and then they'll be, after those 30 minutes are done, they're going to be like, all right, these are the 2 actionable points that I just went through with you. These 2 things implement into your practice. These 2 things are the action items, so that we're not trying to like just go home with more notes that we never read. We can look through it and be like, ooh, I can do that and that. And then there'll be a time to ask questions to make sure every single person, virtual or live, knows, how am I going to implement those? So I know it's unlike most seminars where it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. We're not doing that this year at all. This is going to be the year of actionable items and tons of help to make sure on Monday that you actually can put things into play. So Lauren, as we wrap this up, what final words do you want to share with the doc who's like, yeah, I want to go to a seminar, but I don't know, aren't they all the same?
Definitely not, especially with this one. This will be my 3rd or 4th year attending, and I always leave feeling really inspired and motivated. Not just in a like. I think that's what's going to be super important about this seminar is there are some seminars you can go to and you kind of leave and you have that hot tub feeling where like, oh, everything was good and nice and I feel really happy, and then it kind of fizzles and you don't really implement stuff and you don't really change anything, and then it just kind of dies away. And with these, there should be lots of stuff that you can, like you said, really easily implement and utilize very easily and effectively, so that you feel like you're really armed with information that you can take action on, instead of just a whole bunch of information you don't know what to do with. You'll feel inspired, and you'll feel like it's easily implementable.
Yes. It's almost like grounded motivation instead of just, because enthusiasm has a half life. Enthusiasm has a half life where deep understanding is completely different. And so in this seminar, we're going for deep understanding and learning as opposed to just like the jacuzzi club experience. So come and join us. I put the link in the comment section. There's a price increase February 6th. So I would encourage you to grab your ticket before then. One of the things that I also do at this event is every person who registers, virtual or live, you'll get the recording for 60 days so that you can go back over things, so that you can train your team with what we've done. I mean, I think it would be best to bring your team. If you haven't come yet and you're wanting to stay in one of the boot camp houses, I'm just waiting for a few more people to register that say they want a boot camp house. And what that is we have a big slumber party together. So it's super fun. And I'm just need a couple more people to get that next house. And then we'll have another house for all of us to have a great time at. So we look forward to seeing all of you February 23rd through the 25th. On the 22nd, we do have a free pizza party mixer at the boot camp house. Everyone is invited. We have a limit of 40 people who can come. That's a great time for practicing doctors to meet students and young doctors for potential associates or PMOEs or internships. So come get involved. And Dr. Lauren, I can't wait to see you.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.